We are back after a little break because of a hurricane. We're here to talk about the new Black Panther 2 trailer, a bunch of other stuff, all coming up next on Flicker Effect episode 418. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, David.
How's it going?
Hi.
Oh, hey, you're right there.
Hey.
Even though I will fully admit, if you were watching us on YouTube, it's probably odd. We're sitting in the same room, but there's two cameras. There's like a split screen thing happening. It's just the setup, and unfortunately, it's just the two of us tonight. But that's just how it is. Even though you're right there.
You're right there.
Yeah, I get it.
I know.
Anyway,
Our Brady Bunch moment isn't happening today.
No.
But that's fine.
Anyway, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our host, Bobby, last minute cancellation, just stuff comes up, life happens, is not able to make it tonight. So, and Yasha was not able to make it tonight either. So it's just me and you. And
Okay.
because we don't have our host, this is gonna be a very laid back, wing it kind of
It's going to
episode.
be a very laid back episode.
With that, we were planning on talking about, and we will still talk about, and we'll get started with first, the new Black Panther 2 trailer. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I should say. That dropped this past week, right? It was a few days ago, a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago from today.
But you just watched it tonight, and you hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet, and I don't know. I think I was kind of like, oh, I should watch it. Oh, maybe not, because I'm also the kind of person that if there's a movie that I really want to see, I don't need to see multiple versions of the trailer because I just want to see the movie and just enjoy it and not really kind of see anything that could possibly, maybe not even spoil, but just make me think about things that could spoil it for me. So I wasn't like, no, I don't want to see it. But I'm also was kind of like not going out of my way to make sure I saw it. So watching it today was interesting. My opinion of the film is not really any different. Like, I really want to see this movie. I think it looks really good. I think the one takeaway for me was just how much more Namor was in this trailer. And all I was thinking was like, man, Namor is going to be just someone to be reckoned with. Like, it just seems like there's just going to be a lot of war.
A lot of war?
War. W-A-R. War.
There's a cat that's like about to just jump right on the desk. I'm like,
Between-
don't even do it.
Between
Don't.
that and my eyeball that keeps twitching, I'm having a great evening so far. Yeah.
I say there's a cat. Like, it's not like, where did this cat come from? It's our cat. now,
She's like, what are you guys doing? You're doing a podcast?
She's like, I'm gonna walk around in the back of the set back here. I'm gonna play with Grogu and
just upset the dog.
and then the dog is like, what's happening? Why is the cat
Why
in
is
here?
the cat hanging out here?
So anyway,
Chaos
sorry.
is ensuing.
Yeah, if we sound distracted.
And my eyeballs twitching, which is making for awesome visuals, I'm sure.
This is gonna be awesome.
This is a great show already. We're off to a good start the first 5 minutes. Anyways, no, yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think, yeah, it just seems like there's gonna be a lot of contention between Wakanda and I guess Namor is in charge of Atlantis. What is he in charge of in the Marvel?
Hey, you're talking to a DC
world?
guy. Remember, I'm the DC
Right, you're
guy.
the
I don't
DC
know
guy.
anything.
Well, I'm saying, like, and I don't really know much about Namor, honestly. Like, I really don't. And I'm more of a Marvel person, and I don't really know that much about him. And, like, even then, though, I think in the comics, his undersea water world isn't in the region that it's taking place in this film. It seems like this film is very, I can't think of it. Yucatan Peninsula. It's very, Mayan and Inca kind of related art that you see throughout. It's very infused with that. And so I guess I thought in the comics that his homeland under the water, I guess you could say, it was in a different region on the globe than where it seems to be taking place at in this film. But I really don't know that much, so don't quote me on any of this. So, but no, I think it just looks like there's just gonna be a lot of fighting. And I think the other big takeaway is honestly just the Black Panther costume itself, on Suri, right? Yeah, his sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I assume it's her. I don't
I'm
think it's still officially been said that
I
that's
know.
her,
I'm
but
assuming it's Suri. I didn't know if it was going to be his girlfriend. But I think the whole idea is that it's passed within the bloodline, so it makes sense that it would be his sister. But I could be wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. Nothing against that character. I think the character's great. I fall into the camp of I don't want it to be her. Again, nothing against her. I guess I fall into that camp of she's the brains and not so much
Right.
the skilled fighter.
Correct.
And I don't know how much sense it makes that she would take that mantle, but I'm also the DC guy. So
No, I'm with
I'm gonna get a shirt that says the DC guy.
you. We should get a shirt for you that says I'm the DC.
Whenever we do a Marvel
So
review,
good.
I just wear my "Don't ask me, I'm the DC guy" shirt or badge. I
So
could
what
put
did she say? Don't ask me, I'm the DC guy.
Yeah.
Such a good idea. We're so making that shirt. No, I think I'm with you. I agree. I think she's the techie. She's the smart brainiac one. I'm not saying she couldn't throw fists if she had to, but that's not her personality. So I could see it going to the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend slash fiance, I guess. But they never really made that happen, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's actually under the suit. But I will say, like, it looks pretty badass. I mean, I don't think they tweaked a whole lot of it, other than basically just giving it more female characteristics. So yeah, no, I like it.
I was gonna say, going back to what you were saying about like, not wanting to see too many trailers for things. I feel like I go back and forth. I've been through a mode where I'm like, okay, one trailer's enough. I don't want to watch anymore, at least for certain movies that I really care about, and I'm planning on watching anyway, like you said. And now there's also other times lately where I find myself going, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy the movie either way. Like, I guess it would have to be something I'm really just like incredibly attached to. Like,
Right.
if it were another like major Star Wars film that was a part of like a series where I didn't want to even have a hint to where they were going with it, maybe I wouldn't watch it.
That would be so hard.
But like in this case, I think I thought about it for a split second. Oh wait, do I want to watch this? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I want to watch this, and I'm still gonna enjoy the movie or not, depending on how good the movie is. But I'm
Right.
gonna watch the trailer, and the trailer looks great.
It does.
I like how much Namor. That is how you say his name, right?
Namor, yeah. Prince Namor.
No, I think all of that looks amazing. The DC guy is going to say, "Man, I wish Aquaman looked like this. Like everything that's shot underwater, the look of all of it. That's what I wanted
Yeah.
like, out of an
It
Aquaman
looks
film."
realistic.
And it just looks really awesome. There's that really intense scene where, I mean, it's a really quick shot of him like staring down, what's her name, like on the beach or something.
Okoye?
No, the mother.
The queen.
Yeah.
Ramonda.
Angela Bassett's character. And it just, even just that shot, I'm like, oh, this just looks awesome. Like, it just looks so good. No, I'm just as pumped as I was before for the movie. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. You know, Namor's got his little wing, feet, ankle things, which look kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, and you get to see him really kind of use it in this trailer. Like, not only was he like kind of
There's that shot of
hovering,
the
but there's a shot of
jumping.
him like running, but he's using it to like bounce off to go up and then also keep himself elevated. It was pretty impressive. I was like, okay.
No, the movie looks great. Tickets are on sale, by the way, if you're watching this and you didn't realize that. So
Get your tickets early if you
you can
want
get your
the good
tickets.
seats.
We have our tickets for opening night
Whoop whoop.
in IMAX.
Are you gonna wear your Black Panther jersey?
Well, of course I am. Yeah, I'm wearing a geeky jersey tonight, not the Black Panther one, which I probably should have. But yeah, no, I'll wear that for sure.
Yeah. Should.
Thanks for reminding me. I totally would have forgotten too. We would have gone there. We'd been sitting in the theater waiting.
You've been like,
I'm like, no, I
have it. Oh, I'll remind you.
So, yeah, Black Panther 2 comes to theaters on November 11th. The second trailer is out now. Tickets are on sale. Go check out the trailer. It's good. What else is going on, Michelle?
Well, there was a trailer that dropped today at New York Comic Con.
There was the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer dropped. There was a tease yesterday with the poster. The poster was dropped. It was mentioned, okay, today's going to be the day the trailer's going to come out. Twitter went ablaze with, all right, here we go. We're going to hear Chris Pratt sound like Mario. What's it going to sound like? I feel like that's all anybody cares about.
Talking about is what
like,
Chris Pratt.
What is Chris Pratt going to sound like as Mario?
And you know what?
I was going to start off by saying, like, I think the trailer looks great. It's a teaser, really. I mean, it doesn't dig into like story, even though we know the storyline of Super Mario Brothers, but it doesn't dig too deep. It's really more of a teaser, and you hear him talk a little bit, and it's like it seems like it's an accent, but it's not too heavy. It's like I think it's just right. Like anything too heavy, I think would have been borderline. I mean, you know, unless he has the voiceover skills that we don't realize, would have probably just sounded kind of silly.
Right.
And then if it's just him talking as Chris Pratt, which at first when he speaks, it almost sounds like it's just him talking as Chris Pratt. But then I kind of I watched it again, and especially it's that shot of him bouncing off the mushrooms away from the camera, and that when he talks there, it's like, okay, there's a little bit of an accent there.
It's very slight, which I think is the best approach for him because his voice is just so distinctive, and I think we're so used to hearing him as, you know, Guy in the Lego films, and having that kind of, you know, he just sounds like Chris Pratt. So I think just giving it just a tiny bit of an accent is the way to go. I think going full Mario would have been like, what are we all doing here? This is a shim sham, flim flom, whatever.
Well, and it makes you. Part of me is like, especially if you're going to go full Mario, like, why not just get a really talented voiceover actor that could do that well? Doesn't need to be a name, you know. So,
Jack Black is doing the voice of Bowser.
That's right. I had forgotten about that when we watched the trailer, and then now that you say that
I saw quickly there's definitely talk about there's Jack Black music in this movie.
Is there?
There's gonna be some Jack Black singing. It's gonna be awesome.
Like Bowser, you think is gonna be singing in the film?
I don't know if it's as Bowser or if it's just gonna be like back music, right. But there's gonna be some Jack Black music going on.
That's cool.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, if it were Bowser singing, that might cross the line.
Maybe it's Bowser singing in the shower to be silly.
That would be funny to be silly, I guess. Something like that. But if there's like a Bowser song, I don't know what I would think of that.
But I'm with you. I think it looks good. I think it looks fun. Illumination does the film. That's good animation to it. Like, the animation looks good. Like, it's done very well. It's very crisp. I don't know. It kind of does feel like if I were to put myself into my shoes back when I was a kid and I was playing Mario at the height of Mario, like, it does kind of feel like walking into that world. Like, it looks really good. The aesthetic of it is pretty freaking spot on, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think it looks good.
No, for what it is as a teaser, it looks good.
Yeah, it's a kid's movie, but it looks like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And if IMDb is accurate, it looks like it's an April 7th release.
Spring break. They're getting the kids. They're all about this.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, it's definitely a kid's film for sure. I mean, but it's also like all of us who grew up playing Mario when we were kids. It's an all-age situation, absolutely.
Yeah. Who does Luigi's voice?
Drum roll. Who does Luigi's voice? Thank you for the Charlie Day.
Oh, Charlie Day does Luigi's right. I forgot about that.
Anya
And
Taylor-Joy
then-
does Princess Peach.
Keegan Michael Kay does Toad.
Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong. It's gonna be awesome. I'm down with this. I forgot Seth Rogen was Donkey Kong. I think I knew that, but I forgot it.
I honestly, I don't think I knew that.
I did because it came out a while. It was revealed a while ago that he was
Right.
doing it, and everybody went, "Wait, what?" That's
Yeah.
funny.
No, it
Anyways,
looks fun.
It does look like fun.
So yeah, that dropped today.
What else is happening or happened or what? I feel a little displaced after the hurricane. Not like
Yeah.
totally out of it. Not like a lot happened in that 24, 36-hour period, but I feel like in the aftermath of a hurricane, it's like not only are you dealing with the physical aspects of the hurricane, and by the way, nothing happened to David and I here in Orlando, but Orlando flooded quite a lot, and we definitely got a far less brunt than most of Florida. But no, it's like there's a lot of debris everywhere, and you're just kind of in this weird mindset because like you spend a couple days prepping for it, and then afterwards you're kind of like, okay. So now what do we do? And it's weird. And so like I feel like I haven't been paying attention to a lot of things happening in the entertainment world.
Well,
I've been watching a lot of fluffy, happy things.
I was going to ask you, I'll ask you a question I haven't asked you off air. I've actually been meaning to, but this may be all for naught. I don't even know how long this is in theaters. It could be out as of tomorrow for all I know. So you've never seen Avatar. And
I have never seen Avatar.
you've never seen Avatar.
That is accurate.
Avatar 2 is coming out in December,
Yeah.
which we will almost certainly, not even almost certainly, we will certainly discuss here on the show.
Yeah, that's happening.
You should see Avatar before you see Avatar 2, absolutely.
I mean, it's the plan for sure.
And this would have already happened if it weren't for the hurricane, honestly. But especially considering you've never seen it, if there is a way to see Avatar, in my opinion, and if there is a movie to see in 3D, it is Avatar. It is not just, it's not the only movie that did 3D well. There's been other films that did 3D well, but it is, for me, it's the pinnacle of how 3D was used in a movie. And it's kind of part of the experience. Not to say Avatar can't be an enjoyable film if you watch it at home on a 2D TV, but if you can see it in 3D, you should. And it's like, okay, it's in theaters again right now. And I think it's even been kind of remastered and kind of upscaled
And is
in
it
resolution.
Is it in 3D?
You can watch it in 3D in a movie theater, in IMAX. And I was looking at tickets the other day, but it's been it's like you said, it's even been busy kind of post-hurricane for us. But if it's still in theaters like this coming week, I feel like we should try. Or do you even have an interest? You really are just like, I don't want to go see it. I'm curious.
I mean, I want to see it mostly just because I'm seeing the second film. So at this point, it's like, well, I need to watch this movie so that I know faintly what the hell is happening. Now, if I see it in the theater in 3D, excellent. If I see it hanging out in the living room, totally fine.
Right.
Like,
That would be
I'm
worst case
very-
scenario. We just watch it at home.
I'm very indifferent to how I view it at this point.
I just, yeah, like I've already just said, that if we have the opportunity to see it in the theater in 3D, I think you should take it while you can. That's my
If I have if I really can find the time to
Right.
do that, yes, I will.
yes. But then there's other movies like we had tickets to see Don't Worry, Darling, like
like the day before
the
the
night
hurricane.
before the hurricane was going to hit. The hurricane hit us like Wednesday night, and I think we had Tuesday night tickets.
Yeah.
And we could have seen it, but it was like we were in prep mode. It was okay, get the things from outside the house secured or inside the house or in the shed. We were in total like, do we have everything we need mode? Are we prepped and ready
We've
for
got
hurricane
snacks.
mode?
We have food that we could make not on electric
Right.
things. We have things
All that
you know,
stuff. So
it's hurricane mode. It's
when
hard to
it
explain.
came down to, okay, do we want to see this movie tonight? We were at the point where we probably could have seen it and we would have been fine. But
probably
I
could
think
have seen
we were
it.
both of that mindset, I think, where I was like, I'm just not in the mood to go to a movie theater right now. Like a hurricane is about to hit us. So, And at the
never
time, I
watched that
mean,
movie.
it went kind of south of us. If we're going to talk hurricane, it could have been a lot worse, I think, for us. But at the time, we didn't know. It was like, man, this could be bad.
I mean, there was a point, at some point, it was coming to us.
Right.
I was going to go through downtown Orlando. Like, it was literally like, this is happening. So, and it changed course and went much further south than we thought it was going to go to. And yeah, I mean, I think when we finally got the house prepped, us prepped, everything was just ready to go. We sat on the couch and was like, okay, are we going to go see this movie? I think that it was just so not in the forefront of our minds. And that's just not the head space you're in at that time.
Right. But anyway, my point being, like, we had tickets to that. We didn't get to
really
see
wanted
that.
to see that
I
movie.
really want to see Smile. I think that's in theaters right now.
That is getting some excellent reviews for a thriller, for a
And
scary
Avatar.
film.
I mean, I want to re-see Avatar in a movie theater. Like,
How many times have you seen Avatar?
from beginning to end.
Like sitting down front to end.
I think
no
I
interruptions.
want to say I saw it in the theater twice when it was in theaters originally. I don't think I've ever watched it from beginning to end at home. Like,
Oh.
I think I've like watched bits and pieces of it at home.
Right, like it's been on and you've had to like leave the room for things.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had okay, I'm going to sit down and watch Avatar at home night or any situation where that's happened. Like, I think I just saw it the 2 times in the theater, and I think it was just twice. So really I think that's it.
Okay.
So then it's been a while. I would like to rewatch it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna like we said, worst case scenario, I'm gonna rewatch it at home. But I would love to rewatch it in the theater in 3D. That'd be great.
Yeah. We'll figure out how to make it happen. There's still just so many films that I want to see. And then not even just films that I want to watch. There's all this stuff that's dropping on the internet tomorrow.
We already-
my God. There's so
I
much
mean, we've talked
dropping.
before about there's already a plethora of things to watch
much.
right now. We're catching up on She-Hulk. We've been behind.
Yeah.
Because it's not the priority for us right now, even though it's a Marvel show and we want to watch it and we plan on watching all of it. Absolutely. And I know the episode that dropped today has been things have already been
all
spoiled for
everybody's
me
talking
that
about.
it's people are super chatty about today's episode.
Yeah.
But so and I think with today's drop, I think now we're 3 episodes behind.
But yeah, like priorities, it's like
But then yeah, we also have Rings of Power. We have Andor,
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon, which has been excellent as always so
Yeah.
far. Andor, I am loving
Andor is
so
spectacular.
so much.
But then tomorrow there's something I really would like to watch, and that's werewolves. I can't think of
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, we'll definitely watch that. I mean, that's just I think a
Dude.
single one-off.
It looks so
Yeah.
good.
Oh no, it looks fun. It looks
It looks so fun.
good. It's Halloween, so I want to watch
So
it.
Halloween-y.
And that's the other thing. Then we get into that mode too. It's like there's already enough things to watch that are new, but it's Halloween. I like to
Right.
rewatch things. I like watching Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I like watching The Shining, and I like watching Hocus Pocus. I have not seen Hocus Pocus 2 yet.
We've now watched Hocus Pocus 2.
Stuff like that. Like it's that time of year where I like to watch things just to be in the mood. It's tough right now because of the hurricane. We haven't even decorated yet, which it does not feel like Halloween at all to me.
It's kind of heartbreaking because usually I like to try
would
to
have
get
been
Halloween
very
up
decorated by now.
a few days before October, and that was the plan. And then we had this stupid hurricane come through, and
Right.
it just totally has thrown everything completely off kilter. And it's sad that the outside of the house, the inside of the house, none of the cool, fun, spooky stuff that we have is out. It just doesn't feel like Halloween, and I just want it to feel like Halloween so bad. And I want to watch my fun Halloween movies. I'm getting high pitched.
I think that's our agenda for tomorrow, at least. Part of the day tomorrow is going to
Halloween's
be
happening tomorrow.
Halloween is happening.
This house is gonna explode with Halloween.
It has to, because I'm not feeling it yet. I'm so
I
thrown
know.
off.
But
But anyway, the point being, there's a lot to watch.
there's so many
and
things
now
to
there's
watch.
new things tomorrow to watch. And Midnight Club, that's right.
A
the name,
Midnight
right?
Club, yeah,
Midnight Club
that
drops tomorrow on
too.
Netflix. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Netflix drops everything at once, which makes it, but
Guys, we're not gonna have any time to binge any of it.
Oh no,
We might
that's
go
gonna
watch-
be a
we might
watch it when we
two
can.
episodes of it, but yeah, it's not gonna like. There's just so many things.
We watched the first episode of Interview with the Vampire.
We did. That we did.
What'd you think?
I liked it. There's a lot of aspects to it that are very AMC of it, and that's I can't even really define what that means. But
No, I get what you're saying. There's an aesthetic.
There's an aesthetic to it.
Each network, I think, has an aesthetic.
They do.
To a point.
Yes.
And yeah, there's an aesthetic. It's not a bad aesthetic. It's.
No.
I don't know about you. I think I've said this before. I'll sound like a broken record. To me, the pinnacle of aesthetic is like, if it were on HBO, there would be like there's the HBO aesthetic, which I think is about as good as it gets on television.
Yeah.
You know. And AMC is up there. I mean, the AMC
is.
production quality is good, but I
It
get
is
what you
pretty
mean.
good. It's like there's shots of New Orleans, but they're making to be New Orleans, and there's points of it that's very Walking Dead reminiscent to me. Like and that's not a bad thing. I loved Walking Dead for seasons and seasons and seasons of watching Dead. I loved it. And then Rick Grimes left, so.
I jumped off that ship way before then.
I know. I hung on there, and then we were at Comic-Con that year, and he was like, "This is it." I was like, "Well, I guess I'm done too." It's like, I guess my Walking Dead days are done. Anyways, no, I like Interview with the Vampire. It is an It's not interesting take. It is a slightly different take, if not maybe a deeper cut of Anne Rice's novel, and I like it. I like the direction it's going. It's a little, thus far, I wouldn't say it's like darker per se. I think maybe it kind of makes Lestat a little bit darker in a way. It makes Lestat very powerful, and I guess based on the film that we saw in the 90s, I can't put a total date to. I feel like Lestat was dark, but he was kind of like, he was very moody and very kind of I'm old and I'm bored kind of way. And this is more of a hunter prey, like attachment issues, but also just extremely powerful vampire. I like it. I dig it. Like, I'm down with it. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the differences with like the way the story's being told. I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to more of this.
Same here. I really enjoyed it. It's just the one episode.
Yeah.
But sure. I liked it. To recap, I mean, I love that film. The Neil Jordan film, which I just looked, it came out in 94.
94.
I have never read the book. I've always wanted to read the book, and I tried reading one of the books of The Vampire Armand. I tried reading that one, and I quickly got what people would tell me about how descriptive Anne Rice could be, like really, really descriptive. And I never finished that book. So with that said, I actually started listening to the audiobook of Interview with the Vampire yesterday.
Really?
Because I've always wanted to read that book. I know I'm never going to get around to actually reading it. I have some credits to use in Audible. I'm like, I need to use these credits.
I do too.
So I downloaded it. I'm actually already about 5 hours into it.
Really? Oh, wow. You're blazing.
I will say, as an audiobook, it's actually I like audiobooks in general, but for an audiobook, it's a good listen because it's an interview. So it really is like Louis telling a story, as opposed to it's like so much of just somebody reading a book to you, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Well, that sounds delightful.
Kind of works. Like there's the interviewee, the boy that, or interviewer, sorry, that's, jumps in here and there.
Right.
But and the guy reading the audiobook definitely changes his voice enough that it sounds like two different people. But
so they call him the boy in the book?
Yeah. Well, he's constantly referred to as a boy.
Which is funny because the new Louis kind of calls the interview writer in the show boy. He doesn't say the boy. He just says boy. And then the man is like, I'm a freaking grown ass 60-year-old man. Like, stop calling me boy.
Right.
That was interesting. That's interesting.
So, and yeah, I like it. There's definitely changes that the show is made, and then there's things that seems like it's going to make an effort to be also at the same time very true to the book, but we'll see. I mean, the biggest change so far is that, I mean, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by talking a little bit about it, but
The timeline.
you know, in the book and in the movie, you know, he became a vampire back in like 1791. He was a plantation owner in New Orleans. And here, he becomes a vampire. It's like 1910, and
Yeah.
he's a person of color, and he is not a plantation owner, and he's basically like a pimp. But it works so far.
does.
I like it. I have no problem with that. I will say the only thing maybe I bump on, and I really don't think this is spoiling anything either, because I say bump on because I don't think it was necessary. Like when we start off with the interview, this isn't like the original interview. This is like, apparently we did this interview once before and now we're doing it again. And it's almost like it seems like it's the show's way of like going, we're doing this show version now to kind of retell a story you've already been told. And we're also kind of meta doing that in the show, where apparently the interview happened once a long time ago. And now he's doing this interview again, but it's going to be like the real story. Like he didn't get the real story before. And that whole thing about it, I was like, I don't know. It was just kind of odd.
Really?
I didn't really.
I like that, actually.
And I say that, and it's not bothering me so much that it really bothers me. It's fine. But I don't know. I thought that was unnecessary.
I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm definitely not like bumping on it. Like, I'm actually kind of enjoying that aspect because it shows the flaws in the character that is the person who's taking this story down from Louis, the reporter. And it's definitely putting him in a light of like, look, like, I was young and naive. I was having my own personal life struggles, and the story that I got from you was definitely not the truth. He's like, you played me and I just bought into it, and now I want to know the real story. And Louis agrees. He was like, yeah, it was total crap. He's like, it was not a good interview. You didn't know what you were doing, and I was just kind of leading you on, and I wasn't being truthful even with myself about the events that occurred. And now that I've had a few more years or a couple more decades to kind of think about it, and yeah, let's actually get down to the nitty gritty of what that situation was. I kind of like it.
Cool. And again, it's not bothering me so much that I think you're crazy to like it. It's fine.
It's just too meta for you.
It's just a little like, I don't know. I like the story as it is this guy is coming across a vampire and deciding to interview him. And at first it's probably like, this guy's full of shit, but I'll interview him. But realizing, wait, no, this guy's not full of shit.
Right, this guy's very truthful.
You know, I kind of like that aspect of the story, and I would have liked to have seen it played out that way in the show version. I didn't need it to be like where the show is almost like, I'm not saying the show is treating like the movie is almost like canon, but it's retconning it. But in a way, it almost feels like it's doing that, or like with the book. It's weird. But again, it's one episode, and I like it so far. The actor that plays Lestat, I don't know his name. I think it's quite good. Same with the actor that plays Louis, I think most people best know him from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Is excellent. Considering I've only ever seen him in Game of Thrones as a character who doesn't have a lot of emotion.
Correct. I was going to say, actually, his emotion in this already in episode 1 is very powerful. And yeah.
No, I'm enjoying the show. One episode in so far. I definitely will keep watching for sure.
And I need to look into, because there was another trailer that dropped today. I need to look into this, but I guess AMC must have purchased some rights from Anne Rice's, I can't remember what it's called.
Basically from her estate or something.
Her estate,
like,
yeah, because they're putting out another show based on Anne Rice novel. What is it?
The Mayfair Witches.
The Mayfair Witches. And that show looks intriguing. That's a storyline, a book series that I never read from her and I don't know of. And no, that looks really intriguing too. I saw that trailer today and I was going, huh, It's got Alexandria Daddario in it, and yeah, that looks.
It was good.
It looks intriguing. It looks. There's not much to say. It's a woman in a house, and the house has a lot of history. And I guess it was a history of witches, and like it just kind of a story unfolds, including all of that. It looks and it's intriguing. So, yeah. But I guess they must have purchased some rights to some of her stuff from her.
I think so
estate.
too, because I don't know the details, and anyone listening or watching, maybe you can chime in and leave a comment. But it's my understanding, like I think season 2 of this of Interview with the Vampire was greenlit before this episode even dropped, which tells me that I don't think the full story of Interview with the Vampire is happening in this first season, and it probably will be over 2 seasons at least. And then from what I have read somewhere else, it sounds like if it's successful, then the Vampire Chronicles would just continue. So, because it was pointing to the fact that, you know, it's important to have a strong Lestat, because if indeed the show continues, we would move, the next book is the Vampire Lestat, and it would probably move into that. I guess it sounds like that's a plan. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's true, but that seems like what might be happening here.
And the Vampire Lestat, that's the storyline that the film Queen of the Damned was kind of loosely based on.
I think Queen of the Damned, because Queen of the Damned is the 3rd book, and I think that movie kind of covered those 2 books. It
covered a smidge of
some of both books. I think.
See, man, Anne Rice, she really dominated this. She had this.
Yeah.
Way before Stephanie Meyer did. So what else? What other crazy things have happened out in the entertainment world?
There was a Deadpool 3 announcement.
We haven't been on the. That's right. That hurricane threw everything off. Yeah, there was a Deadpool 3 announcement.
There was.
Didn't you talk about it?
There was a Deadpool 3 announcement, by the way, everybody.
If you haven't heard.
It seemed like out of nowhere, suddenly on Ryan Reynolds' social media, he's posting a video talking about why, or basically, hey, we wish we could have been at D23. And it's like this well-produced video of him, like half in Deadpool costume, like, you know, wandering around his house and pouring gin into a coffee mug and
aviation gin.
Yeah, of course. And walking out in the forest and thinking about the Deadpool film. And then it's like him back on the couch and him asking Hugh Jackman, who is then suddenly walking past, like he's just walking around in the background behind him. Hey, do you want to play Wolverine again? And he's like, sure, why not? And then they put out another video like a day or 2 later.
Literally, I think like the next day, because the first one blew up so fast.
But obviously they had shot both of these at the same time, knowing, okay, we'll put the next one out. And yeah, they put out another video of them like jokingly like talking about how it's going to play out, and him saying like, of course we're not messing with what happened in Logan, because Logan happened in the future. This is like before Logan, and then they go into this whole thing, which you can't hear what they're saying.
It's a whole joke. It's
a whole joke. It's good.
It's very cute. They did a good job. It kind of looks like, it's funny, if I were to guess, and this is me being nerdy and probably reading way too much into it and being all like X-Men-y, but it kind of looks like a Logan cabin that they're actually sitting in. It kind of looks like a set. Like, if I were to guess, my theory is where they actually shot that is it looks like it's a Logan cabin. And I say it because of the way the couch is and the way the house looks kind of rusticy. There's just this, like, Logan vibe happening.
Could be.
And that's my theory. And I'm getting way too Easter eggy, I guess, in it. I could be super wrong.
I don't know.
But that's my little X-Men fangirl dream.
But yeah, it got dated for, I think, September of 2024. I don't have the exact date in September, but I want to say it's September of 2024. And it's happening.
It is happening.
I have not dug into news beyond that. I don't know that anybody knows the details of maybe this was planned to get announced at D23 and why it couldn't. Maybe they didn't have a Hugh Jackman like deal like really landed by then, and that was what they were waiting to do. I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, I'm going to blame my lack of knowledge on things on Hurricane Ian. I know it's the ongoing theme of this episode, but it was a thing for us.
You're the DC guy.
And yeah, don't ask me. I don't know anything about Marvel stuff.
Yeah. No, it
We were
really.
kidding.
I hate that it is the theme of the episode, but honestly, I think
It really is throwing us off.
Hurricane Ian has really talk about just shifting you off course. But I say that, and I kind of feel like this week I've kind of got myself back on course. And tomorrow we're putting up Halloween decorations, gosh darn it, and we're gonna have Halloween movies playing in this house, and we're gonna be back in the October swing
I
of
don't
things.
care what anybody says. We're going to be eating candy corn. That's right.
No, we do. We have candy corn in this house.
You're a candy
We do
corn.
not
We are a
shame-
pro candy corn family.
We do not shame candy corn.
That's right. I don't care what anybody says.
It's just sugar.
I don't know why. It's like a thing right now to hate candy corn. It's just stupid.
Just sugar in a different format.
I'm not saying it's the world's greatest candy,
No,
but it's
but it's
silly. Anyway,
it is. I don't think I have much more in my head. I'll be honest.
I don't really.
good.
I mean, just to mention it, I don't really have much to say about it other than that's like it's a bummer to hear that there's trouble in the waters at Marvel. But I mean, Blade lost its director.
Oh yeah.
That happened,
That happened this week too.
and I think that was due to shoot pretty soon. So I don't know how that'll shake up the Marvel schedule in general and what their plan is for how movies fit together and when they have to
Right.
release one before the other. But
Well, and it's interesting because that came right on the heels of the rumblings of like Kevin Feige like feeling a little overwhelmed with everything and like not being able to balance things. These are all rumors. I have no idea if any of this is true.
that's a lot of the stuff that's been kind of reported
Yeah.
and rumored based when this was announced. Like that
he
there's
feels-
script issues with the movie.
Yeah. Feige feels like he's being stretched way too thin now between Marvel and some Star Wars. Like, it just sounds like there's a lot of things that are happening after, 10 years plus of them dealing with this stuff.
So that's, I don't know, if we get to do a show with Bobby and Yasha soon, I'm sure that's something maybe we'll touch more on with
They're
them.
far more read up on these things.
I feel like
than
it's
we are.
worth at least mentioning.
That is true.
Other than that, I don't.
On a good note, today they announced that the follow up to Knives Out, The Glass Onion, is going to go into theaters.
Yeah, I saw the Ryan Johnson tweet about
Yeah.
that.
I think that'll have to happen. I was just excited to watch it at home, but now I'm kind of like, ooh, I'm looking forward to watching it in the theater.
I'm curious though. I don't remember you being a big Knives Out fan.
I didn't hate the film. I think it's just,
I didn't say you hated it.
and I didn't really say I disliked it. I think I was just kind of like, oh, it was enjoyable. It was a little predictable, but enjoyable. It was very Agatha Christie, and I love Agatha Christie, but it kind of felt a little copycatty of that, which was also kind of the point of that because of the author and the whole storyline that the whole thing was going under. But no, I liked Knives Out. I did not enjoy it as much as you did. That's for sure. You really loved it.
No, I really enjoyed it. It was quite good.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what the heck they have stirred up for a sequel of a film for this. Like, my interest is so piqued in this sequel for
interesting.
Knives Out because I'm so like, well, what are they doing? Like, what is this possibly about? But apparently it's very focused on puzzles. And apparently in the trailer, there's a lot of like Easter eggy puzzle things, and you can kind of learn things just from the trailer.
Have you watched the trailer or not?
I have watched the trailer.
Oh, okay. It's the way you were saying that. I almost got the impression maybe you hadn't watched it.
But like I've watched the trailer once, and so I haven't like
Oh,
sat
yeah.
there
I
and
haven't
gone.
like overanalyzed it or anything.
But apparently, if you sit and you watch the trailer, you can start picking out things out of it. Apparently,
Not shocking.
it's not shocking, but it's cool and intriguing, and I like it. Good job, Ryan Johnson.
It was like in that episode, like we're not going to talk Andor spoilers, but that
No.
as soon as we got to that episode in that scene in Andor where it's basically somebody who is selling like artifacts and stuff. That's all I'll say. It's like as soon as we got to that scene, I was like, oh man, I am a Star Wars fan, and I'm sure there's a ton of stuff in here. I don't even know what it is, and I have seen things on the internet since, and everyone just overanalyzing almost every little object.
Everybody's analyzing every object.
But
in
there's a
that
lot of stuff in
room.
that room.
There
that
is a lot in
pretty
that
cool.
room.
Anyway, it just reminds me of that.
That's and anyway. But my point is, I was like, oh, I'm happy to hear that will go into theaters. I think it's just slated for a week or two release in theaters, but it'd be nice to see that in a theater setting. I think
Right. Yeah, I think it'll be.
it'd be fun.
Excuse me. No, I'm looking forward to the movie.
I am too.
I've also heard people just talk shit about the title. I don't care about the title. It's Glass Onion, whatever. It's fine.
It obviously plays into something with a puzzle, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, just go with it, people. Let it go.
Who cares? I've heard people say, "Oh, it's a terrible title." I'm like,
Who cares?
you don't know what it's about.
We
Like,
don't know what it's about.
you know, like how I don't know. Like, who cares what it sounds like until you know what it's referencing? Like, you know, I don't know.
So many murder mystery movies, stories, books have horrible titles at first, and then you read it, you're like, oh, that title makes 1,000% sense.
Right?
And you just can't. You can't judge a book by its cover, folks, and that's really the lesson that should be learned here today.
Anything else, Michelle?
I don't have anything
I don't
else.
think I have anything else. Like it's been a bit. We had to take last week off. Excuse me, because of the hurricane. And I feel like there was something else maybe we watched that I wanted to bring up, but it's not coming to mind.
If you
'cause-
weren't playing a game where you took a shot every time we referenced Hurricane Ian, then you're
Oh yeah, you should
you've
rewatch
missed
this,
out.
and that'd be a good one for this episode.
would be good.
We'll find a way to talk about Hurricane Ian, I'm sure, the next episode too.
Just put it out there.
It was it's we're Floridians.
This is our life. Anyway,
Anyways, with that, I think we're gonna wrap things up. We're going to get out of here. As always, we would love to hear back from everyone listening and watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, we would love if you would leave a question or comment below. Hey, it helps with the good old algorithm of this, as everyone talks about. And we just want to hear from you. Make sure to also like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified whenever we post any videos or go live in the future. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at flicker_effect. You can find us everywhere. Just look for us.
we're on all the things.
We're on all the things. With that, I'm David Lott.
And I'm Michelle Hillard.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.